Chapter 1. Paying attention to your child's mental health will help them become better integrated. Parents most times are specialists in their children's bodies. They know when a temperature gets to a certain degree, there's a fever around the corner. They see a cut must be cleaned out so it doesn't become infected. But even the most caring, intelligent parents often do not know basic things about their child's brain. That's surprising. Parents would benefit from knowing how their children's brains work because, regardless of their input, the brain determines who we are and how we go about our daily lives. The information on how the brain changes in response to our parenting can nurture a more substantial child. First, we should realize that our brain has many different parts playing different roles. For example, our brain's left side helps us think logically, while the right side lets us experience emotions and read nonverbal cues. There's also a part that allows you to act instinctively and make decisions, and another that leads you toward connection and relationships. It's almost as if your brain has many identities. The key to thriving is to integrate these parts, which will help them work together as a whole. Like the body's active functioning, your brain can't work at its best unless its various parts work together in a harmonious and coordinated way. The whole brain strategies are carefully researched steps to unlock the hidden mysteries of the growing child's mind with the aim of harnessing its full potential. In the following chapters, we shall explore these strategies and how they can help you understand your kid better. You will learn to deal with the common experiences that most kids can't handle and parents find annoying. Mastering the 12 strategies in this summary will help you become a better parent. The average parent says, "Children are emotionally driven, so let them be." The super parent understands how to help children handle emotions. Chapter 2. To live a balanced life full of connected relationships, the two hemispheres of the brain must work together. The brain exists as a whole, made up of two hemispheres that function very differently. Your left brain supports and cherishes order. It's logical, literal, and loves putting things in a sequence. However, the right brain is nonverbal and transfers signals that allow us to express ourselves through facial gestures, eye contact, tone of voice, posture, and movements. The right brain specializes in the meaning and feel of the experience, images, emotions, and personal memories. Young children, especially during their first 3 years of development, are right hemisphere dominant. They haven't understood the proficiency to make use of logic and words to express their feelings. They also live their lives entirely at the moment. Logic, obligations, and time don't exist for them yet. But when a toddler starts to ask, "Why?" all the time, you know that the left brain is beginning to kick in. Much of our behavior is controlled by either sphere of the brain. It is only in centering the two that we find balance. We want our kids to become horizontally integrated so that the two sides of their brains can act in harmony. This concept is in opposition to vertical integration, which intends to unify the upper and lower brain. That way, our children will know the significance of both their logic and emotions. They will be well balanced and prepared to comprehend themselves and the world. The brain is split into two sides for a reason. With each side, we can achieve more complex goals and carry out more sophisticated tasks. Serious problems arise when the two sides of our brains lack integration. We end up coming at our experiences predominantly from one side. Using only one side of the brain, either the right or left, would be as laborious as swimming with one arm. We might not fail, but won't we be a lot more successful if we used both arms and avoided going in circles? Did you know? According to a study by HR company Accountemps, Tuesdays are the most productive days of the week. The least productive are Fridays, and that's understandable. Tuesdays are more productive because many people are still trying to recover from the weekend hangovers on Mondays. Chapter 3. Integrating the right and left hemispheres of the brain is not as hard as you think. Dr. Siegel and Dr. Bryson have mapped out their methods for fully harnessing the power of both brain hemispheres. These 12 methods are known as the whole brain strategies. Whole brain strategy number 1. Connect with your child's feelings to become more empathetic toward them. In our society, we've believed in working things out by expressing ourselves through words and logic. But when your 4-year-old is completely angry because they can't seem to walk on the ceiling like Spider-Man, it's probably not the best time to give them lessons on the laws of physics. Instead, we can utilize these opportunities to understand that logic isn't the primary resort for bringing some sanity to the conversation in moments like these. In such situations, appeal to your child's right brain by recognizing their feelings. Also, use nonverbal cues like physical touch, facial expressions, a nurturing tone of voice, and not judging while listening. The key here is that when your child is drowning in a right brain emotional flood, you'll do yourself and your child a big favor if you connect before you redirect. Daniel J. Siegel, MD, Tina Payne Bryson, PhD. The next step is to integrate the left and the right. First, connect and communicate with your right brain to your child's right brain. This right-to-right harmonization will bring their brain into a more integrated state. Then charm your child's left brain by addressing the issues they raised. It is essential to get the child's left brain to sync with the right brain to give them a realistic viewpoint on reality. Whole brain strategy number 2. Tell stories to calm big emotions. If a child's experiences are painful, disappointing, or scary moments, they can be burdensome. These occurrences cause big emotions and bodily feelings to flood the right brain. If the parents learn that their child is going through something, they can help bring the left hemisphere into the picture to begin to grasp what's going on. One of the best methods of encouraging this particular type of integration is to help retell a traumatic experience. Kids often need to have someone assist them in using their left brain to make sense of what's going on when they experience strong emotions. Chapter 4. How to help develop and integrate your child's upstairs brain. Imagine your brain is a story building. The downstairs brain comprises the brainstem and the limbic region, found in the lower aspects of the brain. Scientists declare that these lower areas are more primitive because they are liable for primary objectives for natural reactions and strong emotions. Your upstairs brain is different. It consists of the cerebral cortex and its various parts, including the middle prefrontal cortex. Too often, we forget that discipline means to teach, not to punish. A disciple is a student, not a recipient of behavioral consequences. Daniel J. Siegel, MD. Whole brain strategy number 3. Appealing to the upstairs brain. As you interact with your kids, ask yourself which part of their brain you wish to address. Are you engaging the upstairs brain, or are you exercising the downstairs brain? Answering this question can help in defining the outcome of balanced parenting moments. A lot of your children's emotional and physical reactions are governed by either the upstairs or downstairs brain. When a challenge arises, you ought to ask yourself, what part of the brain do I want to appeal to here? The situation at hand will determine what part of their brain is best to address. The downstairs brain responds to authority. You can often appeal to it to make your child obey. But if you do it too much, you will arouse feelings of anger and bitterness in them. Appeal to the upstairs brain instead. Do this by helping the child think through the situation and find a way to make a deal. Win-win. It is essential to note that sometimes there is no room for negotiation in parent-child interactions. Whole brain strategy number 4. Exercising the upstairs brain. Apart from soliciting our children's upstairs brain, we also want to help them exercise it. We can do this through planned activities like helping them practice sound decision-making, helping them learn how to control their feelings and bodies, helping them look below the surface, self-understanding through introspection. Whole brain strategy number 5, moving the body to avoid losing the mind. Countless studies have shown that bodily movement directly affects brain chemistry, so when a child has lost touch with the upstairs brain, an effective way to help them recoup balance is to have them move their body. This step can be done through relaxation and taking slow, deep breaths. Chapter 5. Make the brain's recalling ability work for you, not against you. When you want to go about a chore, your brain doesn't think about each detail one after the other. Instead, your brain fires off clusters of neurons that lets you do the task without delay. That's one kind of memory, past experiences influencing your behavior in the present without realizing that your memory has gotten activated. Alternatively, if you think about the day you first did the chore, you might pause for a moment to scan your memory and come up with an image of yourself nervously trying to get it done. When you actively ponder these images and emotions, you should know that you are thinking of something from the past. This is also a type of memory, but it's different from the memory that enables you to do something with little thought. These two types of memories are interwoven and work jointly in your everyday living. The memory that allows you to do a task without knowing that you recalled something from the past is called implicit memory. The brain's ability to recall the past is powerful, but use it to make better decisions, not wallow in regrets. When we talk about memory, we refer to vivid remembrance, a conscious recollection of an experience. We need to have an idea of both kinds of memory for our own sake and the children's. Once we understand these two types of memory, we can give our kids what they need as they mature and deal with complicated experiences. Whole brain strategy number 6. Use storytelling to reduce the impact of bad memories. One way to foster integrating implicit and explicit memories is through storytelling. When something that evokes strong emotions happens to your child, have them retell the story of the event over and over again while you listen with keen interest. This simple exercise will help ease the impact of the memory. Whole brain strategy number 7. Remembering to remember, making recollection a part of your family's daily life. Make it common practice for your kids to talk about their daily experiences and memories. Do not interrogate, simply ask open-ended questions that will encourage them to talk freely. Chapter 6. Every child should understand what Mindsight means. Mindsight means understanding our minds as well as others. Awareness of our minds is where mental health and well-being begin. Whole brain strategy number 8. Teach your child that feelings come and go. As we've stated in our journey through this summary, kids must discover and understand their feelings, but these emotions need to be identified for what they are: temporary, varying situations. We need to assist children in understanding that the clouds of their emotions will not last forever. This concept is an impossible idea for kids to understand at first, so we have to help them realize that the intense emotions they feel are temporary. The more kids understand that feelings are fleeting, the more they'll be able to make decisions on their own. Whole brain strategy number 9. Teach children to pay attention to their internal world. Teach your kids to have a keener awareness of their feelings and focus on sensations, images from experiences, feelings they have, and thoughts they'll use to process the world around them. Whole brain strategy number 10. Introduce your children to Mindsight exercises to help them grow. Ensure that your kids understand they are in control of how they react to situations they'll encounter and can use their minds to find calm. Whole brain strategy number 11. Increase the family fun factor, making a point to enjoy each other. Are you left feeling like you spend most of your time disciplining the kids or taking them from one function to the other with not enough time to just relish being with them? If you do, you're not alone. Many of us feel this from time to time. You can remedy this intentionally by creating family fun times weekly, monthly, or as often as you wish. Whole brain strategy number 12. Teach kids to argue with a we in mind. Arm your children with the skills to handle conflict in helpful ways. You can do this by teaching them to consider other people's perspectives, understand nonverbal cues, fix broken relationships after conflict. Conclusion. Parents often struggle with finding the correct methods to raise their young effectively. This issue typically arises when there is little to no knowledge of the child's mental and emotional status. There is less awareness regarding how the mind of a child works, and as such, there is little attention paid to it. Thanks to extensive research and studies, Daniel Siegel, MD, and Tina Payne Bryson, PhD, have decoded what it means to be an effective parent. The whole brain approach results from dedicated effort to help parents better understand their children and better raise them. It is interesting to note that significant parenting advice is devoid of attention to the child's emotional or mental constitution, but not anymore. The whole brain viewpoint helps you as a parent to change the daily parenting issues that can interrupt the fun and connection you build with your kids. This technique allows you to go far beyond mere outliving. It nurtures relationships and a deeper understanding between you and your children. A sense of integration gives you the competence and morale to behave in ways that bring you closer to your kids so that you can know their minds and therefore help to mold in them positive and healthy habits. As a result, your children will thrive and your relationship with them will prosper as well. More importantly, they will become independent adults. What do you really want for your children? What qualities do you hope they'll develop and take into their adult lives? Daniel J. Siegel, MD. Try this. Whole brain parenting activities encourage having fun with your kids and bonding through quality time. Activities that foster fun include board games, a stroll in the park, helping them with homework, fun time at the carnival. Engage in these with your kids regularly. Also, add your unique activities to the list.